So, hello everyone, and welcome to all of you within Sutton District and potentially beyond for our joining us today live or on the recording for our Renewal of Promise ceremony. I'm Matthew Hewitt, District Commissioner for Sutton. These are extraordinary times, the like of which none of us have ever experienced before, and I hope you're all managing to keep safe in the current situation. I'm sure many of you will feel deeply the fact we're not able to have face-to-face scouting for the present. Whilst it's no substitute for actual meetings, I am, however, pleased to see we have managed to maintain our scouting community online during this time. I know many of you have been taking part in online activity and meetings, the nights at home events, and maybe trying some of the 100 things to do at home activities. I hope these have both provided some respite and also fun for you all. I'm sure you will all have seen the Scouts Walk to the Moon initiative and would encourage you all to join in this as well. I saw this afternoon that it's already raised £110,000 for both comic relief and children in need, and will be on the BBC event this evening. It's also been great today seeing some of the videos and social media that have been going up from people renewing their promise, both within the district and beyond. Whilst we are in one sense all in this together, we do each have our part to play, and that part does vary greatly depending on your situation. Some of us will be or have been unwell, caring for or just worried about vulnerable loved ones or our own personal health. For our young people, this is a very unsettling time, having to do schoolwork at home, in some cases missing out on exams with uncertainty over the future, and missing friends, wider family, and the familiarity of their lives' usual rhythms. For our adult members, many of you, especially those working in the caring professions, those working in shops, making deliveries or contributing to other essential services, will be working long hours to keep people safe and fed. Some of you will be deeply concerned for the future as your businesses are unable to operate and you face an uncertain time when and if they can reopen. You may also be juggling multiple roles which you're struggling with. Whatever your situation, I hope we will all be able to come together again as soon as a scouting family, and you are all in my thoughts and prayers. So on to today. St George's Day is a significant day in the scouting calendar, as St George was nominated by Baden-Powell as the patron saint of scouting. It is the time when we traditionally come together to renew the promise we all made when we joined scouting, and also to recognise achievements and service to the movement and to others. We renew our promise to remind ourselves of our ongoing commitment as Scouts to each other and of the values we commit to as Scouts. So we're now going to move to renew our promise section by section. We'll start with the Beavers, then the Cubs, and then all the other sections. Now we will be using the Christian form of the promise, but there are variations of the promise for other faiths and for those of no faith. So please make the promise you are most comfortable with. And if you want to make an alternative promise and don't know the words, then they are available on the Scouts Association website. So I'm now going to hand over to Bryony, who's ADC Beavers in Sutton.
Hello, I'm Bryony, the ADC Beavers for Sutton District, and with me I have got William from First from Sutton, who is going to help us renew our promise. So if all the Beavers could make the Scout sign with their right hand, and you are welcome to say or repeat it after William.
I promise to do my best, to be kind and helpful, and to love God.
Thank you very much. I'm now going to pass you on to the Cub section and Sean, our ADC.
Thanks, Bryony. Before we make our promise, John here is going to remind us of the law. But before he says the law, I just wanted to say, while he's saying the law, I want you to really think about the words and think about what they mean and see if you can try and live the law whilst we're living during these strange times. John.
Cub Scouts always do their best, think of others before themselves, and do a good turn every day.
And now we're going to make the Scout sign, everybody. and we're going to say together our promise. I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God and to the Queen, to help other people and to keep the Cub Scout law. And now we're going to pass you back to Matthew, who's going to continue with the promises.
Thanks, Sian and John. So now we're going to move on to the Scout section, the Explorer Scouts, Network, adults and all other members of the movement. First of all, however, I'm just going to hand over to, I don't have a Scout that's isolating with me, so I'm going to hand over to Jack from First Wallington, who is going to read the Scout law.
A Scout is to be trusted, a Scout is to be loyal, a Scout is to be friendly and considerate. A Scout belongs to the worldwide family of Scouts. A Scout has courage in all difficulties. A Scout makes good use of time and is careful of possessions and property. A Scout has self-respect and respect for others.
Thank you, Jack. Now, I'm going to lead us all in the Scout promise. So if I can ask all members of the movement to raise their hand. On my honour, I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God and to the Queen, to help other people and to keep the Scout law. Thank you. That now finishes the promise renewal part of this evening. I mentioned earlier that St George's Day is a time when we recognise service to Scouting, and the Roll of Honour is published annually around this time, recording service awards given to adults and young people. And these would normally be presented in person, some at St George's Day, others at another suitable time, so maybe a group AGM or a section meeting or a church parade. So some of these awards in Sutton in the last year have been presented. Others would have been presented at events in the coming months or this weekend. So what I would like to do is just to read the list of adults in Sutton who were in the latest Roll of Honour. So the Silver Acorn was awarded to Beverly Waller and Kevin Moore. The Bartleby Award for Merit was awarded to Deborah Terry, Ian Mellor and Simon King. The Award for Merit was awarded to Angela Duncan, Chris Vickers, David Piercy, Derek Smith and Ian Strachan. The Chief Scout's Commendation was awarded to Hannah Curry, Maureen Tucker, Sarah Granger and Tom Barney. So I'd like to congratulate all of them and thank them all for what they have done and continue to do for Scouting and our communities. As I said, some of them have been presented already, some of them are yet to be presented. There were also some that were awarded recently which didn't quite make the Roll of Honour for this year but will appear in next year's, and again we will be awarding those over the coming months. So that now ends what we needed to do this evening. For those watching live, I hope you will stay in your Scout uniforms and go out for the 8 o'clock clap for carers. We will be as a family going out to do that shortly. If you're watching it on catch up, then I hope you were able to do that and were able to recognise those that look after us. I would like to extend my thanks to Dave Piercy for organising this evening's live stream. He's learnt a new skill to get this all working. And I'm very grateful he picked up the baton of the challenge I gave out in the district a week or two ago. So I'll just conclude by saying to all of you, please stay safe, look after yourselves, take care of yourselves and each other, and hopefully we'll see you all again in person soon. Bye-bye.